That was shite. Whoever decided on the music tonight was fucking horrible. Now, I know it's Mark, probably. Mark, you need to taste the operation. I need to replace it. Right, so I'm going to start off. So you've got a few poems from me, and then I'm going to introduce Smidge and bring him up here. And then you've got a few poems from me, and I'm going to introduce Mark and Dom and bring them up here. And then you've got a few poems from me, and I'm going to introduce Fishwives Broadside and bring them up here. That's the way it's going to be tonight. Obviously, there's an awful lot of shit to talk about because it's been a bloody awful week, whichever way you look at it. So we're going to start with this. This is called Political Doctrine. And it's mine. I don't give a rat's if nobody goes along with it, but it is mine. I will not back down, nor will I stand back. I'll stand with my brothers each time we're attacked. I will not remain silent, nor will my head bow to oppression or injustice that you throw at us now. I will not back down, nor will I stand back, but I'll stand with my sisters each time we're attacked. I'll never betray them, though you think me a fool, but will stand and bear witness to the crimes that you do. I will not back down, nor will I stand back, but I'll stand with my family each time they're attacked. And if you should hurt them, and if I can still stand, then beware retribution that will fall from my hand. I will not back down, nor will I stand back, but I'll stand with my friends each time we're attacked. You can break us and batter us till our bodies are rent, but you'll never defeat us till our strength is all spent. I will not back down, nor will I stand back, but I'll stand and oppose you each time you attack. I will not be ordered, nor will I be told, and you have my word, and that's worth more than gold. Cheers. Yeah. Well, that's how I feel about it anyway. It's New Year just, isn't it? We've just come into another one. It's not particularly been inspiring, but there you go. Shit happens, as they say. This is called New Year Revolution. New Year came in with a bang, a shot to the head, and away they ran. It's another year, another war, but you can look away if you get bored. What's the point? It's all the same. Find a scapegoat, apportion blame, then sit back in your easy chair to watch the highlights of the year. As one more tragedy fills the screen, you can't hold back the incoming scream. Death's so cheap, your life won't matter. Find a political solution with game show patter. And that's all life is, so go back to bed and await your bullet in the back of the head. Cheers. Happy days. I'm going to touch on Africa, where my family lives. I say most of it. The wife's here, but the kids are over there. Two of them are up behind me. The middle one and the one on the right are ours, I should say. Bless them. They were gonna, or they were supposed to send me a backing track, but unfortunately, when I heard about the gig I heard about the gig in December, and when I was talking to Mark, and he said, "Yeah, do the compare bit," and I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." And so I got in touch with the kids. Unfortunately, they had a coup d'etat over the New Year. So everybody's being very quiet at the moment, not wishing to draw attention to themselves. So the backing track idea got squashed for the moment, but it will happen. But I'd like to dedicate this to everybody that I know out in the Gambia. It should be suitable because I have actually done it on Gambian radio, live. I gave the guy the title, and you've got to imagine this sort of black guy in a suit, sort of sitting behind the desk, and he's doing the interview and all the rest of it. And he said, "So what poem are you going to do then?" And I said, "A four-letter word beginning with F." And he turned white. I kid you not. And I just launched into it and did it. He had no idea what was coming. So this is it, a four-letter word beginning with F. And this goes out to everybody that I love and cherish and all that out in Fajikunda in the Gambia. Not in bondage or under restraint, living under a government based on consent, not arbitrary, despotic or under domination, unconfined, unrestricted, released from authority, at liberty to choose and at liberty to act, independent, unconnected with, and unattached. Released and exempt, unconstrained and not limited, careless and reckless and unconventional, forward and impudent, unreserved and gratuitous, broad, frank and indelicate, no restriction, spontaneous, not a slave or a serf, but to set at liberty. Just a simple four-letter word, but it does mean a lot to me. Free. Cheers. Right, three 10-minute spots, so we better start looking at the old clock. If I can get it out of my pocket. The problem with tight jeans is you can't... Yeah, I've got time for this. This is a thing about Africa as well. It's called Charity Begins at Home. Where we are in the Gambia, they don't get much charity as far as the UK is concerned. There's no aid goes out there anymore. And the charities that we all know and infest their charity shops in this country, they don't do much out there. The Norwegians, on the other hand, do quite a lot. So we'll dedicate it to any Norwegians who may be in the audience. This is about what it's like when you suddenly realise that your country doesn't actually give a shit. It's called Charity Begins at Home. We send them bags from charities full of Western cast-off clothes, while dogs and cats and goats and rats scavenge upon the road. A world that goes unnoticed, a world the West don't share, a world their politicians don't talk about, in a world where they don't care. Where poverty's all-pervading and the tourists do not see outside their hotel swimming pools and their glasses of iced tea. And children dress in hand-me-downs and walk miles to get to school. That's if their parents can afford the fees to send them there at all. But we drive to malls and supermarkets to salve our conscience with fair trade, and governments make deals behind people's backs, cutting off much-needed aid. So we send them bags from charities full of Western cast-off clothes, after our charity workers have plundered them so no designer labels go. But all that goes unnoticed in this world the West don't share, for their politicians have never walked those streets, and is that not reason to despair? Cheers. Right, there we go. Where is he? There he is. Dom is just going to tune his guitar so I can do a quick introduction after this. Come on, hurry up. We've already got to do a short set. It's so rock and roll, you know, it really is so rock and roll. Come on. No, you've got to tune it now, you've got a train to catch. Yes, I've been told. So my second set has been shortened. See, he's well cool. Mark's gone into panic mode and Dom's just gone ding 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 ding. Totally cool. Right, before we get into slagging off Facebook, or Wastebook as I refer to it most of the time, I'm going to do this poem. This is the oldest one in the set. It dates from 1994. And there is a reason, because a guy I knew, he's a homeless guy, he was a homeless guy. We went out to the Gambia in October, and I spoke to him just before we went, and he used to live on the streets in Stevenage. His name was Jimmy O'Neill, and You know, if anybody of you, any of you know the homeless in Stevenage, Jimmy used to be one of them. He was always polite, he was a nice guy, he was pissed out of his brain most of the time, but he was alright, he was a nice guy. And then of course we came back and I spoke to one of his mates and he said, oh, Jimmy's in a nursing home. 4 days later he died. It's an absolute tragedy what's happening on the streets. It's certainly affecting Stevenage because they've got nowhere to put the homeless people at the moment, so they're having to live on the streets. They've got 25 places in a hostel, but they've demolished the back of it because they're making another 50 spaces, so it's going to be 75 homeless people and drug addicts and alcoholics and all the rest of it. But yeah, this is an old one, and I want to dedicate it to somebody that I've known for 20 odd years, who I showed it to her a week after I'd written it, and she burst into tears, and I said, what's the matter? And she said, that's my life, you've just written it, and everything you wrote in there is true. And for 20 years I've been trying to get her to a gig, and she's finally turned up. She's here tonight, bless her. Oh, Dawn, you've made my night, you really have. Love you to bits, babe, really. Thank you for coming. And this is for you, mate. It always was, as soon as you told me that occurred. This is called Street Curse. And I suppose it's what I'd feel if it ever occurred to me. You tramp the streets in worn-out shoes, dejected, dirty and abused, attracting other people's scorn. You wish sometimes you'd not been born. And it's so hard now winter's here, forget the season of good cheer. The wind cuts through you like a knife, the damp conspires to end your life. Sometimes a hostel takes you in, for just one night you're warm again. You don't get much, your bed's enough, but it beats the joys of sleeping rough. You're caught whichever way you turn, as to get off the streets you have to earn. But to get a job you need a home, or at least a room you can call your own. So you hide in doorways every night from the drunken thugs who want to fight, while the police just look the other way. What an easy way to earn their pay. So as you tramp these dirty streets, begging coins so you can eat, trying not to catch the public's eye, as guilt's a look they can't disguise. For most of them can't bear to see all we suffer from is poverty, while those who caused this misery have their names enshrined in history. They say pride will come before a fall, but now they've taken that and all. And if I should die, then who would care? Not any of you bastards there. But I'm still around, and you've done your worst, and all you politicians, you stand accursed. Cheers. Right, last one for this set, because Don's got to get his train, because otherwise he won't get home, and he'll be homeless. So, here we go. Facebook. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You put something up on Facebook and immediately you're attacked by cretins, morons, retards and the rest of the sad population. And yet they're all attacking other people. I love the fact that Katie Hopkins is getting so much crap, I really do. Because the people who are giving it are the people who are complaining about trolling. It's total hypocrisy, but there you go. So this is called Facebook Wastebook. Facebook Wastebook, what's it all about? You've seen it on the internet, so there can be no doubt. Everybody's up in arms, injustice on their mind, but it's just another soundbite where the blind lead the blind. Facebook Wastebook, this is how it starts. Another day, another cause, another bleeding heart. Who gives a fig? Who gives a toss? It's yesterday's bad dream. Facebook Wastebook makes you want to scream. Facebook Wastebook, you're really not that cool. Just a sad reflection of the world we live is all, where hatred and division play their part in world affairs. And all you have to do to join is click on the word share. Facebook, Wastebook, where everybody knows you only have to disagree before it comes to blows. Your trial is now in public where the mob and trolls hold sway. Facebook, Wastebook gets sadder by the day. Facebook, Wastebook, what is it that you know? All these dreams, all this hurt, all this pain on show. Look at them, now look at me, I want to be a star. I seriously wonder how we've really come so far. Facebook, Wastebook, please lend us a hand. Facebook, Wastebook, it didn't go as planned. The bloody thing's gone viral now. Hail the new celebrity. Then think, oh shit, not Russell Brand. Fucking mediocrity. Cheers. And isn't he just? Right, here we go. Now, picture my kids, or two of them, and the other one lives over the road. But the one in the middle is wearing a Ramones t-shirt, which we bought her over here. Believe it or not, it was the only band t-shirt we could actually get 3 sizes of, which would fit the kids. And being in West Africa, they don't know who the Ramones are, because the Ramones aren't actually played on West African radio. So I said, right, well, have a listen to them, and I stuck on that double compilation that's out, that's got pretty much everything that you'd need just for somebody listening to the Ramones. And they listened to 3 tracks, and they said, all right, Uncle Chris, you can stop now. It's like, we're going to do the first one. And I said, oh, you like that one? And they said, yeah. We like the beginning. Hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. Blitzkrieg Bop. And I said, well, what you do is take it away, have a listen to it, and make it more African. So they did. And over the road, about 50 yards down the road, is what they call over there a story building, which, because most of them are bungalows, that's type of thing, and it's a 2-3-story building. And the family that lives there, both their sons were drowned going the back way. You know what the back way is? It's the Libya to Italy run. And that had happened like 2-3 weeks previously, and the village was still talking about it. And so the kids rewrote Blitzkrieg Bop to make it more African. I'm not even going to attempt to sing it. They were supposed to have backing tracks for this, so I could actually do it properly, but what with the coup d'etat over the New Year, they've been a lot quieter than usual, let's put it that way. So I'm going to speak it instead. You know the hey ho, let's go bit, so I'm just going to speak it, and I'm just going to do run through it, because it's Blitzkrieg Bop is 3 verses repeated 3 times in I think it's 2 minutes 23 seconds or something like that. But I'm just going to run through their words, which, as I say, should have had a backing track, but isn't, unfortunately. So the kids wrote this. I changed one word. I changed racism to apartheid. And I told them why, and they said, yeah, okay, that's good. Excuse me. So this is what they wrote. Hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. Libya to Italy, Africa to UK. Gotta go the back way. Blitzkrieg Bop. Their politicians all say, Europeans go free. Apartheid in the UK, Blitzkrieg Bop. Hey, ho, let's go. They shoot us in the back now. What we want is just a fair show. We're all dressed up and ready to go. Cheers.
Yay.
Rewriting pop songs. I can do it, now they do it. Hee hee, another generation.